What's up, y'all? It's your girl CJ. Welcome back to another reaction video. I just go into things without hesitating. I don't like read descriptions before. I just click on whatever feels right, I guess. I always go with my intuition. But yeah, I'm not sure what this is about, but I'm assuming this woman named Sierra is missing. Let's just get right into it, why don't we?
It just can't be stressed enough that people keep their eyes open.
I just want her back.
It could be your sister, that could be your daughter, it could be your friend.
You're looking for something like a needle in a haystack.
28 years on the department, and I've never heard of a search like this.
It's one of the largest search efforts in history.
We haven't stopped. We're not giving up.
So many people believe that the search is done. The efforts are done. The story's done. Just beginning.
Morgan Hill is an affluent community at the southern tip of the Silicon Valley in Santa Clara County, just south of San Jose. For the most part, it's a rural area. It's a town that was built up around ranches and orchards and fruit trees, that has rolling hills and vineyards and miles of hiking and bike trails, and a really quiet community, if you can say that, being so close to the hustle and bustle of the Bay Area.
Morgan Hill and the surrounding areas, we're just one, big family.
It's a very small community, so it feels like even if you don't know the people, really that you do.
Sierra Lamar was a bubbly, kind of all-American girl, a smiling girl who appeared to have everything going for her. Sophomore in high school, cheerleader, popular with other students. Sierra had just recently moved to Morgan Hill because her parents had just recently divorced. Just like any other day, any other school day, Sierra left home, walked the short distance to her bus stop to get the bus to go to school, and Sierra never made it.
Things were good the day that she went missing. We're embracing each other and wishing each other to have a good day. And she was excited about writing a paper for school. It didn't give me an indication that there was any trouble.
The initial reaction was, it's a 15-year-old. How many teenagers leave home one day and decide to not come home? And she had to pack up and move to Morgan Hill. That meant meeting new friends, new acquaintances, getting to know a whole new school environment. That could be difficult for a teenager. Investigators, they always have to rule out that issue. Is she a 15-year-old runaway? Is she running away from something? Is she running away from her home life?
I knew they were gonna be like, okay, so this is our first thought, that she is a runaway. Okay, even so, police officers still have to do their job. Find her, locate her, make sure she's safe, and then go on about your day. She's 15 years old, okay? Her safety is what matters. Prioritize that.
A day after she goes missing, they find her cell phone just thrown off to the side of the road.
The state of mind was normal. Her last text that was sent out shortly after 7 a.m. Friday was normal text messaging to a friend. Nothing suspicious, nothing indicating she was leaving.
It's just weird that none of us have any idea or can think of anything that she's recently told us that, that we can put together that maybe she did run away.
It's hard for me to eat. I just feel guilty about doing anything. Even sleeping, I feel guilty. I'm always worried about where she is. If you can hear me, just feel how much I love you and I want you back. I want you back. I love you and I just want you back.
Over the next couple of days, we start seeing signs of Sierra Lamar. The day after, investigators find her cell phone not far from the bus stop. And then 2 days later, a purse.
Inside the bag was some of Sierra's clothing, a pair of pants and a t-shirt.
Clothes that she was wearing the day she got ready to go to school. That's when this whole investigation starts to change and the mood, the thinking of what might have happened to Sierra.
Meantime, a team from the sheriff's office is physically contacting sex offenders in the area and asking them where they were at the time that Sierra went missing.
Unfortunately, no information through forensics or any other trace evidence on the bag or on the clothing leading to a person of interest or a suspect at this time.
There are community search efforts now involved in the search for Sierra. They even established the Sierra Search Center at an elementary school in Morgan Hill just to coordinate, to organize this huge effort.
Put your arms out. Okay, come closer.
Let's try to stay in line.
If it was one of us missing, like, she'd be doing anything possible to try to find us.
I know the more people that are volunteering and all the unconditional love and concern is gonna help, you know, bring Sierra back to me.
My boys go to school with her. They knew her. And this is a small community. And we just all feel like Sierra belongs to all of us. And we're not going to stop looking for her till we find her.
Okay, so if you 15 can come with me.
Wherever you are, be strong. I know you're going to get back to us, and you have a lot of people out there looking out for you.
On the 12th day since she disappeared. Today, investigators announced they do believe that Sierra may have been taken against her will.
When they find the bag of clothing, that's when they find DNA that could be connected to possibly a person who might have abducted her.
I believe that this was not a planned crime. It was a situational crime. It was instinctive. It was fast. But that's what we're looking at.
They were really hush-hush. It really kept a lot of people in the dark, including the media.
I did that big clump of trees right over there.
When you find stuff like that, it has to be tested. And when you're dealing with DNA testing, it's not an easy process.
That doesn't mean that we're ruling out other things.
This effort is continuing. There is no halt. We are determined to find our Sierra.
One of these search parties comes across a box that would house handcuffs. There weren't any handcuffs in there, but also part of that discovery, they find some used condoms.
Police are examining what they hope will be valuable clues, but they were found in an area that's been searched before.
Either prior search and rescue teams missed those pieces of evidence, or those items were put there after the searches. We just don't know.
To whoever may be withholding her against the will, you feel like you're afraid, but please, please don't worry about getting in trouble. Please release my Sierra to me.
Her face plastered on telephone poles, shown on local media stations. The girl who disappeared without a trace, March 16th, 2012.
If you live in that community in Morgan Hill, and then you're seeing these media reports of a missing 15-year-old who vanished, people are going to want answers. Investigators just didn't have early on in this investigation.
Our number one goal right now for our agency is to find Sierra alive and bring her home. Until we can confirm otherwise, she's still out there, she's possibly still alive.
It has been a month since 15-year-old Sierra Lamar went missing, and tonight more than 100 balloons were let go into the sky as part of a vigil for her.
I'm sorry, it's really hard. It was just hard to talk earlier because it was so long. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
On the Crime Watch, a major development today in the search for the missing Morgan Hill teen, Sierra Lamar. It's the biggest development we've seen so far.
Sheriff's deputies released was a picture of a red VW Jetta with a black hood on it, in hopes that the public might have information regarding this Jetta. Maybe they saw it in a particular place. Maybe they saw it driving around the bus stop, and they said that this car belongs to a person of interest.
Was there a solo driver? Was there additional persons in the vehicle to include Sierra? It's just something that they're not releasing at this point. They're hoping that, witnesses call in and provide some additional information.
I'm watching the news, haven't heard, any good news about it, It's been all just very vague and, nobody can find anything. Hopefully they'll find her.
Do that, let's get our gear. I'm gonna get my sticks, everything you guys have.
This is a search effort that it has to encompass a huge area.
Anybody that comes out here and does this should realize that it's an honor to help another family find their child.
Routine SL 227.
I mean, you had some people coming in from out of state to help with this search effort.
Marian Martinez is here in California on vacation. She's been following the Sierra Lamar story on the news and decided to use her time off to help in the search.
I wanted to be involved. I mean, I have children of my own, and I would want someone to search for my daughter.
That's an amazing soul right there.
And we are beginning tonight with what could be some solid new leads in the investigation of the Sierra Lamar disappearance.
Detectives not saying how solid or credible the new leads are, but they're among the more than 2,000 leads that have come in since Sierra disappeared March 16th.
But the bottom line is we do not have anybody in custody on the Sierra case right now as it stands.
These searchers are sometimes going against some of the roughest elements out there. Rain, wind, they're searching shores of reservoirs, of lakes. They're hiking in canyons. They're fighting off 100-degree temperature, rattlesnakes, poison oak, all in an effort to try to find this young girl.
The chopper joined search and rescue teams from 6 counties in the Bay Area and the Central Coast, focusing their search in rough terrain from San Jose to Gilroy. Here are all the names of all the people and local businesses that have donated food and supplies to the search for Sierra.
It gives me hope that, everybody's hearts are really into this.
It's, awesome that people dedicate all this time to helping us out.
What a W community.
There was no volunteer search because of Mother's Day, and today is an especially difficult one for the Lamar family, who have been searching for their missing daughter now for more than 8 weeks.
I know she's feeling that we're searching. I know that deep down, and I continue to pray for her to have strength to do whatever it takes.
Several months after Sierra goes missing, there's this big break in the case. They've identified a suspect.
The suspect in the Sierra Lamar disappearance case was arrested earlier this evening.
He is 21-year-old Antolin Garcia Torres.
He is the owner of the red Jetta.
He has been booked on charges of murder and kidnapping, arrested tonight outside the Safeway store on Tennant Avenue in Morgan Hill, where he works.
Quick question. The laws are so confusing to me. How can they charge him with murder if there wasn't a body found yet? Was that their way of keeping him to hold him so they can get information more out of him? Do you know what I mean? I just don't know. Just because he was the owner of that car, how could they automatically assume and place those type of charges on him? Capital murder, but yet there's no body. You can't charge murder if there's no body. Let me listen more. Maybe I'm just jumping the gun a little bit.
When deputies finally make an arrest, there's this sense of relief in the community. Finally, someone has been arrested in connection to Sierra's disappearance. and that the hope is this person will start talking.
Sierra's DNA was found in his car and his DNA on her clothes.
There has been an exhaustive search, very little to go on until we...
Okay, so they did the DNA match and everything. So, okay, I get it now. All the pieces are connecting, my fault.
heard about that red VW Jetta that showed up in surveillance video from a school bus.
I can tell you that we will do everything in our power to seek the truth and to seek justice for Sierra Lamar.
The search efforts will increase, because now the focus is we need to find her. Unfortunately, the suspect, wasn't forthcoming on where she may be.
It doesn't stop people from searching for her because, as people would say, we need to find Sierra. We need to help the family get some closure.
Okay, spread right from there. Need somebody right here, then spread it across.
Any kind of evidence, especially with his DNA on it, that will make a better, solid case.
Search crews focused their efforts on a reservoir where Antolin Torres allegedly spent the day fishing the day Sierra Lamar disappeared.
Our sheriff, she has put her all into this case. I'm in my entire history, I have 28 years on the department, and I've never heard of a search like this before.
Prosecutors say Garcia Torres kidnapped Sierra on her way to school.
In the transcript, we're also seeing testimony that shows Sierra's hair was found on a rope inside the trunk of Torres' car.
As painful as it is for Sierra's family, the legal case against Garcia Torres now moves to a new stage. Prosecutors working on the assumption that Sierra is a murder victim.
The Santa Clara County Sheriff's Department made an arrest tonight in the disappearance of 15-year-old Sierra Lamar of Morgan Hill. He is 21-year-old Antolin Garcia Torres.
Prosecutors working on the assumption that Sierra is a murder victim.
Victoria, from this case, you have a right to a full examination within 60 days of your first court date. Do you understand that? Just like Your Honor.
The difficult part about this is you don't have a body, you don't have a weapon, you don't have a crime scene. That could be a prosecutor's worst nightmare.
Right.
He has a prior conviction for interfering with an officer.
During this investigation, they're able to tie Torres to a series of attacks in parking lots and Safeways. They happened 3 years before the abduction of Sierra Lamar. And then it leads to the bigger picture that if Antolin Garcia Torres is capable of doing this to 3 other women who are able to escape his grasp, then maybe he's going to search for a younger victim.
I'm about to jump the gun again, but this shit pisses me off because the system is so flawed. This man attacked multiple women, not 1, not 2, 3, and probably more that just weren't documented, that weren't reported. He has a history of violence towards women. Okay? Why wasn't he arrested for any of that? Why does it take, unfortunately, I'm gonna say it because after all this time, clearly this girl is no longer alive. Why does it take for her to get murdered and for her to die for them to finally do something? Why weren't they doing stuff while he was attacking these women in public parking lots? Like, are you kidding me?
Who might not put up a fight.
Accused with Sierra's disappearance, Antolin Garcia Torres remains behind bars but isn't talking.
I wouldn't want my community to give up something they started. We had over 700 volunteers at one point.
Wednesday morning, more than 40 volunteers searched for the missing teen. An army of regulars who vow to keep searching until Sierra is found.
I would just love to bring her home and see the Lamar family get to rest, bring them peace.
He's not talking, sorry to cut off the volunteer right here. He's not talking. The least this man could do is give some type of closure. Like, these people are still out here. There's a bunch of them. still looking for her body at this point, because they've come to the realization, like, the evidence proves that, you know, there was hair on a rope in the back of the truck. Like, these pieces are coming together for everybody to be like, okay, she's not here anymore, but this family still deserves some type of closure. And that guy is a fucking absolute menace to society to not even give up where her body is. You understand? Like, but hey, I guess he's a fucked up person, and I guess that's what fucked up people do.
Because I know every day I come out here, I got the vision of my daughter in my head.
Sierra's parents say they consider this new community new family.
Helps to sustain us, helps to encourage us, and we encourage each other. We're like a family unit.
Nearly 2 years after he was charged with the kidnapping and murder of Sierra Lamar, her accused killer, Antolin Garcia Torres, has finally entered a plea.
Your Honor, Mr. Antolin Garcia Torres pleads not guilty.
When he finally enters that plea, the hope is that this case is going to start moving forward, possibly telling the family investigators where Sierra Lamar is.
The search center, which was based in Morgan Hill, closed its doors.
More than 50,000 search hours devoted to this search effort to find Sierra Lamar, a search effort that lasted 3 years, and by some accounts was one of the largest search efforts ever for a person in the U.S.
It was hard not to, just start crying because honestly, it was just very emotionally moving for me personally. It's been a long time.
A verdict has been reached in the Sierra Lamar murder case. The jury has found Antolin Garcia Torres guilty of killing the teen 5 years ago.
Garcia Torres was also found guilty on 3 counts of attempted kidnapping for incidents that happened in Morgan Hill.
I was in the courtroom at that time, and when that verdict was read in the gallery, you hear the cheers of people who packed that courthouse and who had been following this case for the last 5 years. Cheers that after 5 years, someone is found responsible.
We'll obviously never get Sierra back, so it's not closure, but it is a good first step, and the jury did the right thing.
The 6-woman, 6-man jury recommended life without the possibility of parole for Antolin Garcia Torres.
I feel at peace that he will not be on the streets and harm another child. But the angst will be in our lives forever. Right. Nothing will ever take that away.
Justice can hold the guilty accountable, but it cannot resurrect the dead. There is no joy in this verdict, only mourning the death of a child who was murdered.
Sierra's mother no longer lives in Morgan Hill. They couldn't do a formal burial or funeral service because they don't have Sierra, but they held a celebration of life with friends and family. Just keep Sierra in their hearts and minds, that someday Sierra is going to be found.
It's a sad reminder of what can happen even in Morgan Hill, which is relatively a very nice place and very safe. But our community definitely pulled together for her. And I hope her parents know that we never forgot about her, we never will.
So the guy maintains his innocence and has appealed his verdict. The situation is just tough because it's like there's no body. Like, I feel so bad for the family. Like they couldn't even get that closure. Like already, like as a mother, having your daughter just disappear in thin air and like, okay, cool, they found some type of evidence that ties this dude to her, but they still never got to withhold a funeral and get to say their goodbyes. Like, that's not closure. Him going to prison, cool, that he should have been in prison prior to this murder, but him going to prison doesn't give them closure, like, at all. Like, he's such a piece of shit, he can't even tell anybody where the body is. Like, I don't know, but God bless their family, God bless her family, and I hope her body is found, because that is a form of closure, especially when they pass away, to be able to determine this is her. Like, no matter how decomposed a body is, they still have the technology nowadays to really confirm that, hey, this is her, through dental records, through whatever that process is in forensics do. But I hope the family gets closure for this and the body is found, honestly. Anyways, y'all, thanks for watching another reaction. I've been getting some mixed reviews. There's like people that like it, and then there's some people that don't like it. Just let me know. I enjoy watching videos and putting like my mindset into it and like talk about how I feel. And I like the documentary aspects of like mysteries and stuff that actually have happened. Like, these are really going on in hometowns, like small hometown tragedies, seriously. So yeah, anyways, thank you all for the support. Like, comment, subscribe. Bye, love y'all. Mwah.